Peace, peace, peace to whoever comes in to check this news out. This is crazy. I'm looking at how they're now trying to whiten out Africa by bringing in illegal immigrants. I want you guys to check this story out. It's not going to be too long alive.
Illegal white immigrants in South Africa. They come from three countries: Italy, Portugal, and England. I had the honor the last time I
European.
was in SA, which was last month, of meeting some of those illegal white aliens. Okay. This is how they live and move and work in South Africa. One, they are white, so their skin color protects them very, very much. Two, they're employed by white South Africans in their big companies. Not a single one of them was earning less than 100,000 rand. In fact, they were earning in US dollars because one was telling me she just lost.
Yes. Now listen to this story. Same thing. Now think about what's going on. You know the government has been dissolved here. Their reign of primacy in papacy, the papal bull is over. It's a wrap. People just not doing what they need to do. That's a whole nother story that I get tired of getting into. But now, since they are not able to now come here and continue their reign and keep manipulating us and stealing from us and doing everything, they're trying to make place in Africa, going back to another land. Once again, whitening it out, going to Jim Crow era in Africa. Let's listen.
50,000 US dollars. When they drive, they use their European passport, their European driver's licenses, and cops take that European driver's license without a whimper. When they travel, they use their European passports. They actually use their European passports to get in and out. They say they buy papers from immigration people sometimes. And sometimes they go to Lesotho for a couple of days. Then when they come back, they get their passport stamped. Some of them have been in South Africa as illegal citizens for more than 10 years. And some of them just arrived like 8 months before I met them. I was introduced to them in business. These people are protected, closeted, and loved by the white community of South Africa, and they make sure that they are doing well. They have the top office jobs which pay the most money, more than 100,000 rand a year. We're talking at around 175, 200, 300,000 rand a year. They don't pay taxes to the government of South Africa, but they are living there peaceful and happy and covered by their own. What are you going to do about those? Tell me what you're going to do about those. Your own immigration has the statistics. They literally have the statistics of how many illegal white people live in South Africa. And now I call a couple of them my friends. What are you going to do about those? Now they are straining your system big time. What you going to do?
Apparently, this has been going on for a while, but a lot of us are just hearing about for the first time. This comment says, I have a British friend that his 2 week tourist visa expired over 3 years and he got a job to lecture in a college. Like, you are illegal in the country, but you are able to get such a job. This is interesting. It cannot happen in Europe for sure that an illegal immigrant will be able to get a job as a lecturer in Europe. We know it's not possible. This person said, my friend is from Italy. He's 3 years in South Africa, expired passport, and he's working. Someone responded to the comment saying, it's not about active or expired passports. It's about behavior. If it is well, no problem. But we can't tolerate bad behavior by those illegal immigrants. Why is it not about expired or active passports when it's them? But if it's Africans, it definitely would be about whether their passport is active or expired, or if they're legal or illegal. And if it's their own country.
Do you guys see that they are transferring the government service that they have been using here, and they're using it to now conspire over to another country and start the same plan, restarting a new generation of Jim Crow, restarting a new generation of systematic governments in another area. This is why the banking is being changed. Pay attention.
Back there in Europe, they would care whether the immigrants in their country are illegal or not. So now why the double standard? Someone responded to the person saying, it is about passports. If it expires, then they are illegal. Yes, they can do good behavior in Italy. And this sister who made this video said she got this information from the South African Immigration Service. Flash a journalist badge, they will share. Freedom of press and all, she said in the comments in response to someone who was asking her for sources to authenticate this information. Now, this is very problematic because these people have a parasitic relationship with the country, and their fellow
Mhm.
palm-colored folks are helping them have this parasitic relationship with the country. And we are talking about 2 million parasites here. And I'm calling them
Parasites.
parasites because not only are they taking opportunities and food from the mouths of South Africans, they are also not giving back to the South African economy. Remember, sis said earlier that these people are not paying taxes. So they are sucking from this country,
Same
but they
thing
are
they've
not
been doing
giving
here.
back to the country to help contribute into the country's development and growth.
See?
Now, this is a point where I'm supposed to say the SA government needs to do something about it. But then at the back of my head, I'm like, there is no way in hell the SA governments are not aware that this is happening.
That's
I
right.
bet these people know of this
They bought
already.
their
But
way
of course,
in.
as always, for whatever weird, selfish reasons that is at play here for them, they just don't care and they are not doing anything about it. I want to conclude this video by talking to my people because I think there is actually a lesson to be learned here. Because looking at this situation, I couldn't help but notice how on cold the palm-colored folks have been. Hence why this situation was able to go on for as long as it has been going on. Even though their people are
Yes, shifting
down
the
there
powers.
illegal and stuff, they took these people in, they employed them, they embraced them as their own, and they gave them the necessary assistance and protection even that they needed in this country so they can continue to thrive. If my people picked nothing from this situation, I hope they would at least pick this particular one, this particular characteristic traits. Because see, at the end of the day, this mentality that some of us have, that so and so African is different from so and so African, or so and so black person is different from so and so black person, it's got to stop. You would see some African brothers and sisters calling another African brother or sister a foreigner just because that African brother or sister isn't from their immediate country. All of these countries and borders that we are holding on to so dearly that we did not even create. We are manning on the border lines and saying, Kokoroko Kakaraka, this is my place, that one is your place. Borders that we did not even consent to begin with. We are just here holding up systems that benefit none of us. None of us benefit from any of this annoying colonial mentality that some of us just like to pedestalize and perpetuate like our lives depends on them. Because see now, see how them palm-colored folks treated their illegal palm-colored folks in the country. They treated them like family. See how on cold they were and have been. Why we just there, all of us, we they fool ourselves. Like, we need to do better for real. We are effing up big time collectively. We all have people in our individual communities, our individual nations who are effing up. So the collective is who I'm
Period.
speaking to. So I am employing us as a people. We need to do better. They embrace only their own. It's about time we collectively, unanimously start embracing our own, because we only have each other. This constant bickering, this constant tribalism, this constant whatever mentality of separation that some of us have, it's got to have, I want to believe it died in 2023. It hasn't taken us anywhere and it won't
Girl,
take us
you can
anywhere.
believe all you want.
So let's do better for real. We are not our enemy. The sooner we realize that, the better for us all. I need you, you need me, we all need each other. Let's stay on code. Let's have each other's backs. That's the only way we are getting ourselves to where we are supposed to be as a collective, as a people, as a family. All European countries have a visa free to South Africa without
She talking
applying
about they
for a
people.
visa.
South Africans band together. All South Africans band together, just like we're supposed to be doing, right? We're supposed to be banding together so we could do what we need to do because people don't know how to do what they're supposed to do. I'm going to get out of here after I show you guys a bit of something. I want you guys to see how these people have brought these people into our towns, right? Let me make sure I had the right book pulled up. I was gonna get into this, but I'm gonna at least get into a little bit of it, and then I'll get to a part 2 tomorrow. This is very pertinent as well, so let me get right to it. Gotta find my tab now. I'm gonna put too many links in this tab. Hold on. Let me see. Yep, I gotta move this one so I can just see it. Lord, I can't even see where it's at. Hold on. Okay. Okay, there we go. I got too many tabs open here. Hold on, let me close these tabs up. That's why I can't see anything. Okay. Now, let me put this over here so that I don't have all this in the same thing. And we can go from here. All right. Now, let's get to it. This right here is going to open your eyes up to something important. I'm gonna have to get deeper into it tomorrow because I don't have time today, but I'm gonna definitely share with you guys some of this. Let me see, where is it? There it is. I want you guys to pay close attention. I'm going to explain some things after or as we go through. I'll try not to stop because I want to just get through it real quick, but we'll start here.
By J.G. Fraser, Fellow of the Academy, read January 31st, 1917. On a day in May, when the reapers were busy among the wheat, the child Reuben had followed them into the fields, and straying along the hillside, he observed growing on the ground a plant which attracted his attention both by its appearance and its smell. Its great broad leaves, like those of a primrose, but more than twice as large, lay flat on the earth and radiated from a center, where grew a round yellow fruit about the size of a large plum. The plant emitted a peculiar but not unpleasant odor, which had guided the child to the spot. He plucked the fruit and tasted it, and finding it juicy and sweet, he gathered his lapful of the yellow berries and carried them home to his mother Leah. The fruit was what we call mandrakes, and what the Hebrews called love apples dudaim, apparently because the taste of it was thought to cause barren women. Genesis XXX. 14. Throughout Palestine the wheat harvest is at its height at the end of May,
Listen
except
again.
in the highlands of Galilee. The fruit was what we call mandrakes, and what the Hebrews called love apples dudaim, apparently.
I want you guys to think about Adam and Eve, right? The creation story of Adam and Eve. We about to get real deep into this. That's why I say I have to continue tomorrow to get into the depth of it, but definitely pay attention.
Because the taste of it was thought to cause barren women. Genesis XXX. 14. Throughout Palestine the wheat harvest is at its height at the end of May, except in the highlands of Galilee, where it is about a fortnight later. CHB Tristram, The Land of Israel London, 1882, pages 683 square. Compare I. Benzinger, Hebordisk Archdology, Tübingen, 1907, p. 141, ct. Wilson, Peasant Life in the Holy Land, London, 1906, pages 206 SQ. The barley harvest is earlier. In the neighborhood of Jerusalem it is usually in full swing by the end of April or the beginning of May. C. T. Wilson, OPCITP 205. As to the plant Mandrake Fascinarum or Officinalis, CHB Tristram, The Natural History of the Bible, London, 1898, pp. 466 to 8 others speak of the insipid, sickish taste of the fruit, W. M. Thompson, The Land, and the Book, London, 1859, p. 577, and of the ill savor of the plant, H. Mandrake, Journey from Aleppo to Jerusalem, Perth, 1800, p. 96, under date March 24th, Old Style. Plant, Dinin Dudame, is derived from dot, beloved, love. CFR. Brown, S.R. Driver, and C.H.A. Briggs, Hebrew and English Lexicon, Oxford, 1906, pages 100.
It said Jerusalem. Go back. Let's go back. Make sure you guys are hearing this.
T.
The
Wilson,
Holy Land.
Wilson, Peasant Life in the Holy Land, London, 1906, pages 200.
The Holy Land, London, Jerusalem.
The barley harvest is earlier. In the neighborhood of Jerusalem it is usually in full swing by the end of April or the beginning of May. C. T. Wilson, OPCITP 205. As to the plant Mandrake Fascinarum or Officinalis, CHB Tristram, The Natural History of the Bible, London,
Natural history.
1898, pp. 466 to 8 others speak of the insipid, sickish taste of the fruit, W. M. Thompson, The Land, and the Book, London,
The Land and the Book.
1859, p. 577, and of the ill savor of the plant, H. Mandrake, Journey from Aleppo to Jerusalem, Perth, 1800, p. 96, under date March 24th, Old Style. The Hebrew name of the plant, Dinin Dudame, is derived from dot, beloved, love.
The love plant, beloved love. Women that were barren, if they had issues with being barren, this is a fruit that they would use so that they could conceive. This book is about Jacob and Sarah. Pay very, very close attention. I'm going to get more into this fruit. So I'm going to show you guys a couple of videos on it that I pulled up from TikTok. I was surprised. I'm like, oh, wow, it's a lot of different ones on here about it, but we'll definitely get into a few of them. So let's continue on. Got a little time here. We stop.
By J.G. Fraser, Fellow of the
Okay, we're
T.
gonna go
Wilson,
past this. We're gonna go past this. I want you to see.
Wouldst thou take away
that
my son's
part. Hold on.
mandrakes also, to conceive? Now, when
It
Rachel
was
saw the
used
love apples that the boy
to
Reuben
conceive. It was used to conceive. Remember the story of Jacob and Rachel. Listen.
had brought home, the sight of them stirred in her a longing to be, like her sister Leah, the happy mother of children, for Leah had 4
Barren
sturdy
Sarah.
boys, but Rachel was childless, though her husband Jacob loved her and consorted with Leah more than with Leah. So Rachel begged Leah to give her of the love apples that she, too, might conceive and bear a son. But Leah, jealous of the preference shown by her husband to her sister, was angry and answered, saying, Is it a small matter that thou hast taken away my husband? And wouldst thou take away my son's mandrakes also? Nevertheless, Rachel urged her to give her of the apples, saying, Give me of them, and tonight Jacob shall sleep with thee instead of with me. To this Leah consented, and gave her sister some of the love apples. And at evening, when the sun was setting and the asses, almost buried under corn sheaves, like moving pigs, were seen returning from the harvest fields along the narrow path on the mountainside, Leah, who had been watching for them, went out to meet her husband as he plodded wearily home, leaving, and there in the gloaming, with an arch or a wistful smile, she told him of the bargain she had struck with her sister. So he turned in to her that night, and she conceived and bare Jacob a fifth son. But Rachel ate of the mandrakes which her sister had given her, and having eaten of them, she also conceived and bare a son, and she called his name Joseph. Such appears to have been the original Hebrew tradition as to the birth of Joseph. His mother got him by eating of a mandrake. But the pious editor of Genesis, shocked at the intrusion of this crude boorish superstition into the patriarchal narrative, drew his pen through the undefying part of the story which traced Rachel's
fruit
first.
Has been used in sorcery and witchcraft, something that's been done on the land, right? Witchcraft. I want to show you guys. Hold on, just to look so you can really see this is not. It's something that was shown in that Harry Potter movie. I never watched it. I didn't let my kids see it. I don't even play games with that sorcery, witchcraft with these people. But either way, people have told me about, did I know about it from Harry Potter? This is how I looked into it when the Harry Potter movie came out. But something came up today. I wanted to show you guys about this. So let me see. Let's go. This is the fruit.
Es fatal para quien lo oye.
Let me start it over because I thought it was sharing. Hold on, guys. Okay.
La mandrágora o mandragula sirve para regresar a su estado original a los petrificados. Es también peligrosa pues su chillido es fatal para quien lo oye.
Check this out. Hold on. I got quite a few videos. I want y'all to see that they different sizes. They've been known for centuries. They in all kind of old books. When you see them in the old books, you probably like, what the heck are they talking about? But yeah. This, I believe, is some type of a display, so it may be more artificial. But hold on, I got a couple more I want you guys to see. I think I put the same video up twice. I definitely want you guys to see this. Because this is what we're talking. The plant that we're reading about in this book about Jacob and Sarah, the plant that is a fertility plant, it actually goes back to Aphrodite. I'm going to get into that as well, but we'll get into that part tomorrow. But we don't know what he's saying. I want you guys to see it.
Por su extraño parecido con un cuerpo humano. Durante la antigüedad se le atribuían un sinfín de propiedades, entre ellas el atraer al ser amado. Actualmente la mandrágora es usada como planta medicinal en algunos tratamientos de enfermedades infecciosas, pero aún sigue vigente en rituales de hechicería.
Crazy. Hold on. Let me see this one. Let me do it over. This one look crazy. All right. I think they put something in this one. This is like crazy. It's hard to show you the reality. I wanted to show you props to try to quite a few of them with the real root. So you three of them that actually are the official roots. Here's another one. Hold on, that's not the one. Damn it, where is it? I should have put them in separate email. But yeah, they've been they use them for magic, like literally. People use them in witchcraft and things of that nature. It is known as that's why I want to show you guys this, so you don't. If you're looking at this, it might look like, oh, that's kind of crazy, but when you hear it in the book, it's going to explain the exact same thing to you. So hold on one second.
Screens from being uprooted. It's called the Mandrake, and we've got it growing here at the Eden Project.
The
Legend
Eden
says it
Project.
kills whoever digs it up, so I think it's best we leave this one alone. The scientific name for this type is Mandragora autumnalis, which flowers in winter. I'm now in the cool building at the Eden Project, where we are hosting an art exhibition called Supernatural. Here
It's
we've
a
got an artwork
supernatural
depicting
plant,
Mandrake
guys.
with matrix vegetal by Chilean artist Patricia Dominguez.
Supernatural.
Dominguez draws our attention to ethnobotany,
Of course, my
healing
love.
practices, and the corporatization of well-being.
Right, what in the whole
Every living
hell?
thing on Earth is interconnected. We encourage you to consider what you can learn from plants here at Eden and Supernatural.
Yeah, on the hair, that's what I was gonna say. I'm glad you brought that up, brother. Now, on these videos, of course, you know how people want to exaggerate. They're making that sound. These plants don't actually make that sound. They may make some sound from the movement, but it's definitely not like that. So let's keep that in mind. But hold on, I want to show you guys another one. This is she's using the sound and pulling up the plant. This, I believe, is a hoax as well, but I'm gonna still show it to you guys because it's crazy. Hold on, let me go back. I think I have one or two more. I hate that I put all these videos together on the same link. I should have did it separately, but let me see if I can find the other ones for you.
Grasp your mandrake firmly. You pull it sharply up out of the pot. Got it? And now you dunk it down into the other pot and pour a little sprinkling of soil to keep him warm.
Yeah, crazy, right? Real crazy. Hold on. I'm trying to find this other one. There's another one. Let me see. That shows the actual root as well. As you guys see, some of them showing like the real root, and some of them you can tell like they kind of did something to it, but the real roots look like literally the same. The shit is crazy. They're not as dramatized, I would say. Some small ones. Hold on, let me pull this up. These are some smaller ones. Then we're going to get back into the book so y'all can see. All right. Those are the ones I was showing you guys from my from the story here. Let me go to the story real quick. From the medical garden. Those are actual pics. These right here. Literally, y'all see them. This shit looks so crazy. The medical garden. This is the UST medical garden, and they're showing all different types of plants. They're talking about the Mandragora, which is this plant. This is how it looks from the top. It buds, it gets flowers. They're used for medicinal use. These are the actual roots, and as you can see the face, this shit is crazy. And mind you, going back, that's what we're reading in the book right now. This is what it is showing you when it comes to the fertility use of this particular plant. And Jacob and what's the wife name? Sarah. Her having to use this to actually finally bear the son. But in the Bible, it's telling you this whole other fictitious, well, I don't know, but story. But let's get back to it, guys. We're going to get back to this real quick, and then I'll continue more with the information on this tomorrow with part 2. But I want to let you guys get a little bit more of this.
Pregnancy to the eating of the yayo berries, replacing it by the decorous phrase, but Rachel ate of the mandrakes which her sister had given her, and having eaten of them, she also conceived and bare a son, and she called his name
like
Joseph.
right?
Such appears to have been the original Hebrew tradition as to the birth of Joseph. His mother got him by eating of a mandrake.
Listen.
But the pious editor of Genesis, shocked at the intrusion of this crude boorish superstition into the patriarchal narrative, drew his pen through the undefaying part of the story which traced Rachel's first pregnancy to the eating of the yayo berries,
artificial insemination. The patriarchal narrative, artificial insemination with this fruit, given the fertility
it by the decorous phrase, God remembered
This
Rachel,
ain't no joke, y'all.
and
This
God
real.
here can too.
I just showed you.
Her, and opened her womb. Nevertheless, though this curious piece, I have ventured to transfer to antiquity the description of the return from the harvest field, as it may be witnessed in Palestine at the present time. In the East such scenes have probably altered but little since the days of Jacob. C.C.T. Wilson, Peasant Life in the Holy Land, p. 206.
Hold on, y'all.
As
Let
it
me
was
fast
omitted,
forward.
Gunkel is similar. Of folklore was struck out of the text of Genesis some thousands of years ago.
Folklore out of
The popular
Genesis.
belief in the magical virtue of Mandrake to ensure conception was by no means thereby eradicated, for it has survived among the natives of Palestine to the present time. When
The natives
Henry
of
Mandrake
Palestine.
visited the high
Listen.
priest of the Samaritans,
Let's go back.
of folklore was struck out of the text of Genesis some thousands of years ago. The popular belief in the magical virtue of Mandrake to ensure conception was by no means thereby eradicated, for it has survived among the natives of Palestine to the present time. When Henry Mandrake visited the high priest of the Samaritans at Nablus, the ancient Shechem, in 1697, he inquired into the story of Rachel and the mandrakes. I demanded of him, he says, what sort of plant or fruit the dudame or, as we translate it, mandrakes were which Leah gave to Rachel, for the purchase of her husband's embraces? He said they were plants of a large leaf, bearing a certain sort of fruit, in shape resembling an apple, growing ripe in harvest, but of an ill savor, and not wholesome.
An apple.
But the virtue of them was to help conception.
Didn't it tell you earlier that the Hebrews called it the love apple? The love apple. Hence the story of Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve and fertility. Pay attention.
Under the genial bed. That the women were often wont to apply it, at this day, out of an opinion of its prolific virtue. Of these plants I saw several afterwards in the way to Jerusalem, and if they were so common in Mesopotamia, as we saw them hereabout, one must either conclude that these could not be the true mandrakes dudame, or else it would puzzle a good critic to give a reason why Rachel should purchase such vulgar things at so beloved and contested a price. And again, the late Canon Tristram, one of our principal authorities on the natural history of Palestine, tells us that the mandrake is universally distributed in all parts of Palestine, and its fruit is much valued by the natives, who still hold to the belief, as old as the time of Rachel, that when eaten, it ensures conception. It is a very striking looking plant, and at once attracts attention from the size of its leaves and the unusual appearance of its blossom. We found it in flower at Christmas in warm situations, and gathered the fruit in April and May. Wheat harvest is, therefore, the period of its ripening generally. The blossoms of the plant are cup-shaped and of a rich purple hue. We can now understand why, in the exquisite picture of love and springtime in the Song of Songs, the lover should blend the smell of the mandrakes with the budding of the vines and the flowering of the pomegranates to lure his beloved out with him at morning into the
Y'all hear
fields.
that? The smell of the mandrakes with the budding of the vines and the flowering of the pomegranates to lure his beloved out to him at morning until the vernal fields.
Asterisk the ancient.
That's deep. That's pheromones. Y'all hear that?
Greeks in like manner ascribed to the mandrake the power of exciting the passion of love, and perhaps, though this is not directly stated, of promoting conception in women, but 96, on p. 400 and purpose they used, not the fruit, but the root of the plant, which they steeped in wine or vinegar. And because the root was thus used in love charms,
Used
they
in
called
love
the mandrake
charms.
the plant of Circe.
Did not tell y'all
after
it was used in witchcraft. When they say used in love charms, they're talking about spells, spellbinding, witchcraft. Now, when you think about the spellbinding put on a nation and the witchcraft put on the nation and the conception and fertilization by the use of this plant, I'm gonna have to wait to get deep tomorrow. Let's go, y'all. Just pay attention.
Famous sorceress who turned men into swine through a magic draught. Indeed, so well recognized was the association of the plant with the mysteries of love that the great goddess of love herself, Aphrodite was
There
known
she
by
go.
the title of Mandragoritis, or she of the Mandragora carrot special.
Aphrodite was known by the title of Mandragoritis. That's what the plant is a mandrake. This is the name that Aphrodite was known as, the Greek god Aphrodite. Thinking about conception, creating of nations. Man, y'all gotta listen.
Precautions were thought by the Greeks to be necessary at cutting or digging up the wizard plant. To secure the first specimen, you should trace a circle thrice round the mandrake with a sword, then cut it while you faced westward.
It's talking about
And to
Genesis.
get
It
a
said it in
second,
the
you were
beginning, brother.
recommended to dance round
It
it.
said it.
Talking
Genesis.
of love matters all the time. Asterisk as an additional
said it.
precaution, you were advised to keep to windward in digging up the root.
Yep.
No doubt, lest the stench should knock you down. For some people found the smell of the mandrake very unpleasant. Registered the amatory properties of the plant are still an article of popular belief in Greece. For in Attica young men carry pieces of mandrake about with them in satchels as love charms. Carrot, the same
You hear
superstition
this?
long survived in
Spells.
Italy. Formachia. Belli's comedy Mandrake
Fertility.
turns on the power which the mandrake was supposed to possess of rendering barren women fruitful, nor were such notions confined to the south of Europe. In the 17th century, the English herbalist John Gerard wrote that great and strange effects are supposed to be in the mandrakes to cause women to be fruitful and to beget children, if they shall but carry the same near unto their bodies. ***. Indeed, the Jews still believe in the power. Theophrastus,
Hold on,
c.
go to the
76,
next page.
8 it 353 of the mandrake to induce fertility, and in America
Listen.
they import roots of it from the East for that purpose.
Mm.
Here, in Chicago, we are told, is a man of wealth and influence among the Orthodox Jews. He mourns the fact that no child perpetuates his line. He has been interested in the return of the Jews to Palestine, and has given largely to the cause. The Jews of Jerusalem, knowing of his family's sorrow and appreciative of his sympathy, sent him a mandrake with their best
I'm gonna
wishes.
stay off that part and
At
focus
first,
on the
this
plant
merely
for today.
indicated to me that the mandrake superstitions still live in Syria, a fact already well known. But questioning soon showed that mandrakes imported from the Orient are still in demand here among Orthodox Jews.
Mhm.
They are rarely sold
Why are
for
they
less
so
than
barren?
$4, and one young man whose wife is barren recently paid
Why are
$10
they
for
so
a specimen.
barren?
They are still thought to be male and female. They are used remedially, a bit being scraped into water and taken internally. They are valued talismans, and they ensure fertility to barren women. Carrot, so persistent among the Jews is that superstition touching the magical virtue of the plant, which first appears under a decent but transparent veil in the story of Jacob and the mandrakes. The superstitions which have clustered thick about the mandrake or mandragora in ancient and modern times carrot are partly explicable by the shape of the root, which is often forked and otherwise shaped. So Frederick Starr notes upon the mandrake / the American Antiquarian and Oriental Journal, XXIII. Chicago, 1901, p. 267. Carrot, much has been written on the folklore of the mandrake. Among modern writings on the subject it may suffice to refer to Sir Thomas Browne, Pseudodoanum Pandemica, H.K. 2 Chapter 6. Pages 72-4 in the works of Sir Thomas Browne, London, 1686, J. Grimm, Deutsche Mythologie *, Berlin, 1875-8, 2. 1005 SQQ, 3. 362 square, F. Liebrecht, de Gervasius von Tilbury Otia Imperialia, Hanover, 1856, p. 70 note, Ewutk, der Deutsche Volksberglaube Carrot, Berlin, 1869, pages 98 square, 131, a. De Gubernatis, La Mythologie de Plantes, Paris, 1878-82, 2. 213 SQQ. Andrew Lang, Custom and Myth, London, 1884, pages 143 SQQ. Moly and Mandragora, Hilderic Friend, Flowers and Flower Lore, London, 1886, pp. 291 SQQ. 632 SQQ, 647, F. von Luskin, P. Esterson, R. Bayer, and J. G. Wettstein, in Verhandlung der Berliner Gesellschaft für Anthropologische, Ethnologische und Ergeschichte, 1891, Beraien, 1891, pp. 726, 746, 890, 892, appended to the Schrift for Ethnologic, XXIII 1891, P.J. Veth, de Alruin en de Hegge Rank, Internationals Archiv für Ethnographic, 7. 1894, pp. 81 to 8, 100, and 99 to 205, Frederick Starr, Notes on the Mandragora, The American Antiquarian and Oriental Jamal, XXIII. 1901, pages 268 to 68, W. Hertz, Gesammelte Stuttgart and Berlin, 1905, pp.
So many documentations talking about, listen to this one.
Number 12, January 1906, pages 487 to
Origin.
537, Rendell Harris, The Origin
of the cult. The origin of the cult of Aphrodite. The origin of the cult of Aphrodite.
Of the Cult of Aphrodite, The Ascent of Olympus, Manchester, 1917, pages 107 to 140. Our word mandrake is a corruption of the Greek mandragoras. As to present a rude resemblance to a human figure, hence the Pythagoreans.
A rude resemblance to a human figure. I showed it to you. You guys seen it, right? Let me show you again. A rude resemblance to a human figure. And it has, they all have a face. They all, even the smaller ones. I've seen quite a few of them. I'm going to try to pull more up for you guys tomorrow. On TikTok, I couldn't find a lot. Back before, I could find a lot of stuff. But now, they hide a lot of information. But if you can see, you guys see that they have a face on them. They all have faces. All of them have a face. I don't give a dang how small it is. If it's a short, fat, when they come in different sizes too. Some of them are short and fat. Some have big limbs and wide. But they all have faces on them. It's like crazy. It's real crazy. But yeah. We're about to finish a little bit more of this, and then we're going to get out of here, and I'll do part 2 possibly tomorrow.
So-called philosophy was to a great extent simply folklore, called the mandrake, the anthropomorphic or man-like plant, and Kalyamela speaks of it as semi-human. The Arabs call it the face of an idol, or the man plant, on account of the strong resemblance of the root to the human form. An old writer tells us that the mandrake was fashioned out of the same earth whereof God created Adam, and that its likeness to a man is a wile of the devil, which distinguishes it above all other plants.
Right.
For that reason, when a mandrake is dug up, it should be placed for a day and a night in a running stream, no doubt in order to wash out the taint of its diabolic.
So thinking about the trees, and when you look at the root, it looks like a very small tree. That's what the tree stemmed from, a root, right?
Association.
Crazy.
It is the Greek medical writer Dioscorides who tells us of the epithet man-like applied to the mandrake by the Pythagoreans, and in a manuscript of his treatise, which is preserved at Vienna, the epithet is appropriately illustrated by two drawings which
y'all might not get
in
it,
human
but it's
shape
okay.
with leaves growing
Somebody
out of the
be
head.
talking about it now that I brought
In
it
one
up.
of the drawings, the goddess Invention is represented handing the man-like mandrake to Dioscorides, who is seated in a chair, while immediately beneath the mandrake a dog is seen rearing itself on its hindquarters. An inscription beneath the picture sets forth that the dog is dragging up the mandragora and then dying. The meaning of this picture and inscription will be explained immediately. In early printed herbals, the mandrake is similarly portrayed in human form, sometimes male and sometimes female, with a bunch of leaves growing out of the top of his or her head. The distinction of sex in the mandrake is as old as Dioscorides, who says that the male mandrake was white and the female mandrake black. In English folklore, the two sorts are drakes respectively. In modern times, the high value set on the mandrake as a potent. See the colored plate, number 232, in Joseph Thurp's Flora Graeca, Volume 3, facing p26. The plate is reproduced, without colors, in Rendell Harris's The plate facing p. 107. On this subject I may refer to my article, Some Popular Superstitions of the Ancients, Folklore, I. 1890, pages 147 SQQ.
That's right.
Dioscorides,
Talk about it.
Materia Medica, 4. 76 Columella, De Re Rustica, X 19 square degree John Richardson, Dictionary, Persian, Arabic, and English, Oxford, 1777 to 80.
Oh, I think you're right, sis.
SV
They used to throw it in our face on
Hildegard,
Sesame Street. I do
Physics.
remember that.
2102, quoted by J. Grimm, Deutsche
Was it
Mythology.
Sesame Street
2.
or Zoom?
1007 Rendell Harris, 76, Charm, especially useful for its power of fertilizing by 10 women, has given rise to a trade in counterfeit mandrakes.
Fertilizing
in
barren
human form,
women.
out of bryony and other roots.
And giving
The
rise
use
to
of
a
substitutes for the
trade.
mandrake was
Listen,
all the more
I want y'all to
necessary.
hear that again. And giving rise to a trade in counterfeit mandrakes carved in human form out of the bryony and other roots. So people started using them and trying to counterfeit them because they wanted to sell them because they knew that you can imagine. Look how expensive it is to go to a fertility clinic.
In northern countries, because the plant grows wild only in lands about the Mediterranean, including Syria, Cilicia, Crete, Sicily, Spain, and North Africa, carried the most. Northerly point where it has been certainly found is Mount Vicentin,
Oh yeah, our
on
trees
the southern
definitely.
edge of the Venetian Alps.
We used to
Specimens
talk to
are
them and get
reported to have been
information from
found in the Tyrol,
from the trees.
but
That's why
these
they killed
reports
them,
seem to
because
be
they gave us
disputed.
information.
Asterisk, a Tuscan doctor of the
They gave
16th
us
century, by name Andrea Mathioli, who wrote a Latin commentary on Dioscorides, and whose New Herbal was translated into German and published at Prague in 1563, learned the secret of these forgeries from a mountebank and quack, whom he had cured in a hospital at Rome. The fellow told the doctor that his practice was to take roots of canes, bryony, or other plants, carve them into the shape of a man.
So what do y'all think those are? They're called money plants and something else now. They look very similar to them. A lot of the Oriental people, they'll say, "Oh, they're good luck. They're good luck. Money tree, get a money tree," and they shape them. They're also called. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I can't think of the name of them. I had a few of these. They're small and they groom them. They look very similar too. Yep. Men with wombs, with fake artificial wombs at that. All right, guys, I'm going to continue this tomorrow. I'm going to get ready to get up out of here. Peace, love, and bliss to everybody that came through. I told you guys it was going to be a short one. I just wanted to bring a little bit of this information to you guys. Once it finishes out this page, we'll be out of here. So peace, love, and bliss to all, and you guys have a great one. All right, guys.
Or
go.
woman, stick grains of barley or millet into the parts of the figures where hair should grow, and then bury them under sand for 20 days or so until the grain had sprouted, when he dug them up and trimmed the sprouts with a sharp knife into the likeness of hair and beards. These false mandrakes he then palmed off on childless women, some of whom gave him as much as 5, 20, or even 30 gold pieces for a single figurine,
What I told y'all, they was
fondly expecting
expensive.
by its means to become the joyful mothers of children. Asterisk, Bacon was acquainted with such magical EFL5 geese, though it does not appear that he suspected the mode in which art assisted nature to invest them with a rich growth of beard. He says, some plants there are, but rare, that have a mossy or downy root, and likewise that have a number of threads, like beards, as mandrakes, whereof witches and impostors make an ugly image,
Witches and
giving
imposters.
it the form of a face at the top of the root, and leave those strings to make a broad beard down to the foot.
All right, guys. Peace, love, bliss. Everyone have a great one. Yep, you got one of those plants, sis? Exactly. You know they've been those are the ones they talking about. They use them and they tried to act like they were those, but they weren't. It's crazy. All right, guys. Peace, love, and bliss. I'm out.